In Phoenix, Arizona, newly released body camera footage shows a police officer assaulting a 23-year-old unarmed woman after she was pulled over for a minor traffic violation in January. The video shows Officer Michael McGillis stopping Mariah Valenzuela without explanation before he suddenly tackles her and slams her to the ground without warning.
Is this your car?
No.
Bravo John Sam 5455. Do you have ID on you?
No. Why am I getting pulled over?
Put your hands behind your back.
Excuse me!
Put your hands behind your back!
No!
Put your hands behind your back! Stop! 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 Hands behind your back!
The assault left Valenzuela with injuries to her head, face, hands, and legs. The video surfaced just a week after another Phoenix police officer was caught on camera fatally shooting James Porter Garcia while he was in a parked car in a residential driveway.
To the people gathering to remember a 28-year-old shot and killed by Phoenix police. Eyewitnesses to the shooting in Maryvale contradicting what police say when James J Garcia was shot and killed in his car in a friend's driveway.
A vigil is starting just right now behind me for James J Garcia. I heard from police that their interaction with him lasted about 10 minutes and ended in a police shooting. We now have video of portions of that interaction from both a witness and police because there are contradictions about what really happened. Friends identify the man who was shot as James Garcia. He went by Jay. Lisa Winter says Jay parked in her driveway while waiting to pick up her son, and he must have dozed off. Meantime, police showed up looking for an aggravated assault suspect who had argued with another man in front of the house a little earlier.
He had nothing to do with what was going on. They had him singled out for some reason. You know, that's what makes me mad.
This is witness video. Police say when officers approached the car to talk to Garcia, he rolled up the windows, refused to talk, and had a gun. Officers say Garcia then picked up the gun and pointed it at officers, but witnesses say he had his hands on the steering wheel and only moved when one officer smashed in the back window.
You can see it in his hands were like this, and he jumped like that. And when he did, they opened fire. And all I heard was bang, 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 bang.
There's no way that he would pull a gun on 6 officers, let alone anybody else.
Phoenix police have body cam video of the moments leading up to the shooting, but so far they've released only this body camera clip showing what happened afterward.
Gun is secure.
Again, Phoenix police have not released any video of what happened before or during the actual shooting.
Mohammed Mohammed died 3 years ago, pleading for breath. 43 years old, black and homeless.
He's dead.
Most likely you never heard his name.
What happened to Mohammed Mohammed is strikingly similar to what happened to George Floyd. The only difference is, in Mr. Floyd's case, we had a pedestrian with an iPhone.
It took place January 4th, 2017, to the people of Phoenix. It was a local news story, a homeless man on drugs resisting arrest. But CNN has now obtained the raw video from multiple police body cameras, witness statements that describe no threats to police officers, and testimony from a famed forensic neuropathologist hired by the family, who reviewed the autopsy materials and concluded Mohammed died from positional asphyxiation, meaning he died because he couldn't breathe. His sister, Mohammed Mohammed, is suing the city of Phoenix.
I don't know how police officers allowed to be judge, jury, and executioner. This wasn't a death penalty situation, right? He wanted to use the bathroom.
How you doing, sir?
It began 9:30 a.m. on a Wednesday. Mohammed and his chihuahua, named Chiquita, were homeless. He needed to use the public restroom. An employee stopped him, no dogs allowed, and the police were called.
I'm doing a natural thing, a natural function.
Mohammed suffered from schizophrenia and anxiety, according to his family. He didn't go anywhere, including the bathroom, without Chiquita, his emotional support dog.
Can I use the restroom now, please?
Police finally allow him to use the bathroom, but while Mohammed is inside, they learned he had a warrant for failure to appear in court for having a marijuana pipe. They prepare to arrest him.
Put your hand behind your back.
Wait, what for?
You got a warrant.
A warrant? Hold on.
Mohammed begins to panic.
Put your hand behind your back.
I don't have no one to watch her. But you just put it down. We'll find somebody to watch her.
Police pry the dog out of his arms and take him down.
Okay. Get on the ground.
Okay!
Go to the ground, dude.
Ow! Okay!
Now you're going to be going for a felony now, dumbass.
An officer holding Mohammed down with a knee to the head as the dog watches. For a few seconds, it seems the worst is over. Officers walk Mohammed to their SUV. He's still handcuffed, still pleading for his dog.
That's my towel, officer!
While the officers are trying to frisk him, somehow, Mohammed's cuffed hands that were behind him end up in front.
Arms are in front now.
No! I cannot believe this.
Relax, dumbass.
To the ground, to the ground.
Once again, Mohammed ends up on the ground. Once again, his head pressed to the pavement by a knee. Other hands and feet hold down his torso, arms, restraints added to his legs. Several officers are now pressing into his body. At 4 different points of the police video, he screams, "I can't breathe."
I can't breathe. Stop moving. Shut up.
Mohammed vomits, goes limp, appears to stop breathing. At 10:39 a.m., a little more than an hour after he'd walked into the community center to use a bathroom, he's declared dead. The county medical examiner's report called the death a homicide due to cardiac arrest aggravated by psychiatric disease, acute methamphetamine intoxication, and physical exertion during law enforcement subdual. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office cleared all the officers of any wrongdoing.
President Trump reacted angrily Tuesday to a question about police killings of African Americans. Trump was speaking with CBS News correspondent Catherine Herridge at the White House.
You said George Floyd's death was a terrible thing.
Terrible.
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.
A recent Harvard University study found African Americans are more than 3 times as likely to be killed by police as white Americans.